Right, hello guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing are small maps ruining Call of Duty. This is a topic that I kind of wanted to bring up and debate with you guys, especially with the release of Black Ops 6 around the corner, where it seems to be that we are going to be getting more small maps than we are actual a variety of maps, such as medium maps, large maps, ground war type maps, etc. There seems to be more of an emphasis with this year's game, Black Ops 6, of adding small maps into the variety, into the playlist, and making more small maps than ever before. And I wanted to talk about that today and discuss, are small maps ruining Call of Duty? Kind of, what is all of your guys' opinions about small maps in Call of Duty? Do you think Call of Duty should have more small maps? Do you think there should still be the variety that there is? And we're going to talk about that today. But first of all, we'll get into it. So, are small maps ruining Call of Duty? I'm going to give my opinion on it. I feel like it's something that is being pushed a little bit too far. I don't agree with the game just mainly having small maps, because I believe there's more issues that are caused by this, as we saw in the Black Ops 6 beta, of course. Playing the Black Ops 6 beta, we of course saw probably some of the worst spawns we've ever seen in a Call of Duty game. They did slightly improve as the beta went on, but more often than not, the spawns were terrible. We were spawning on top of people, behind people, spawning. It was here, there, and everywhere. And I think this is something that is caused by the fact that we are using small maps, and just mainly small maps. There are a bit more variety of maps that we haven't seen yet for Black Ops 6, but from what they showed with the TAC overview and that, it seems that most of the maps are going to be built and small. And when I say small, we have to kind of determine, how would I put it? Talk about how there's two different types of small, because yes, you get maps that are called small, medium, and large, but there are kind of two different types of small. For instance, you are seeing a gameplay on Yard here. That's a small map, but Yard is a different small map compared to, say, a Shipment or a Rust. There are different plethoras or different varieties of small maps, and it depends what you determine as small. Like, again, this is a small map. Yard is definitely a small map, but Shipment is also a small map, and it's a very small map. We've seen Babylon or whatever you call it from the Black Ops 6 beta. That was an extremely small map. Some people would say it's pretty much a replica of sort of like Shipment, as in like the way it plays, that you just spawn on top of people. And we're probably going to see more maps like that in Black Ops 6 and possibly even future Call of Duties. And I don't think this is something that Call of Duty should be doing. I don't think this is the route, though, the route that Call of Duty should be going when it comes to this. Because I personally, and myself, I don't agree with this. I'm kind of fed up of just playing small maps. I don't see how it works as well in a game sense as well. Like, how are LMGs and, sniper rifles can quickscope, I guess, but how are LMGs, tac rifles, battle rifles, whatever you want to call them, supposed to thrive and be usable more so than an SMG or assault rifle that could aim down sight and strafe faster, if we're going to be mainly making small maps? I think that's going to be an issue that pops up in Black Ops 6, that having assault rifles and SMGs is going to be a be-all and end-all, and, be able to quickscope with a sniper rifle, because a tac rifle and LMG and that, unless you can build them out to be super quick and aimed at ADS and, strafe and that, realistically, you're not going to get very far, because, yeah, you can sit behind a head glitch like you can on Shipment, but eventually people are just going to spawn on you, and then that's it. You just have to keep spawning over and over again until you get back to your spot. Like, it's not going to work out. I also think this is actually done at the moment. I think Call of Duty is going down this route of adding just mainly small maps, because they think the player base only wants to play small maps, which I can understand. Of course, we look at the moment, we've got a Shipment playlist that has 6 different versions of Shipment. It is just Shipment, but different versions of it. And obviously a lot of people are playing that playlist because, let's be honest, there's not much to do on a ship. Like, there's not much skill needed to play on a Shipment. Like, you will spawn. There's not much a better player can do differently to an average player or a terrible player, because of being a small map. Like, there is no prediction of spawns, really. Like, there's very little much you can do when it comes to predicting spawns. There's very little a good player can actually do to avoid being, like, shot in the back on these small maps. And on top of that, I think a lot of players like the fact of spawning up and just getting into a gunfight instantly, instead of having to traverse the map, find a route, find a spot. It's just action over and over again. It's just constant action on your screen going on and on and on. And I think Call of Duty believes this is the route to go down. And they probably have data to suggest that this is the right route. And I get this. And the reason I believe that they'll have this data to support this is more so to do with Warzone. We're obviously going to see people are going to buy and play Black Ops 6, whether it be through the Game Pass, whatever, buy the game straight up. But I think most people at the start of a game or the game's life cycle do actually buy Call of Duty for its multiplayer, just to be able to level up their guns ready for Warzone, because of course Warzone does not change over. Warzone doesn't become the new Warzone map, or the new era of Warzone doesn't happen until like season 1. So there's kind of a good month or so before the game actually changes. And what do people want to do? They want to level up their guns, they want to make sure they have every single weapon leveled up, because of course something's going to come out in Warzone and be meta. If you have every gun leveled up, you can use any gun you want. You're going to be well ahead of the game for those people who are just sitting there playing Warzone, waiting for the new guns to come out, and then they have to level up the guns in Warzone, which is just going to take such a long time compared to just playing on a small map like a Shipment, like a Rust, and just leveling up your guns in the 24/7 playlist. And that's where I think all this love for the small maps come from. That's where I think this playtime, and you know, where Call of Duty has probably seen that people want to play these small maps and are playing these small maps, is through the fact that people are mainly just leveling up their guns towards it. It's the quickest way to level up. It's the quickest way to level up in the game. It's the quickest way to level up weapons. It's the quickest way to get XP regardless of just playing Shipment, etc. You just have constant action on your screen 24/7. You don't even necessarily have to get kills to even get tons of XP. You can throw decoys and stuff nowadays. You can throw a stun, smoke, nade, whatever it is, and it'll just add to your XP. So that, I think, is why the small map love is kind of happening in Call of Duty at the moment, that people play these small maps and stuff. And like I said, because of the fact you are getting into a gunfight just constantly, 24/7, it is instant gunfights. And I want you guys to let me know your opinions down below. What do you think about small maps in Call of Duty? Like I said, I think this is going to cause more issues for the future of Call of Duty, like spawns and stuff. I think we're going to see the worst spawns we've ever seen in Black Ops 6, because I don't think there's much that Treyarch can do to actually fix the issue of of spawns in Black Ops 6, because of how small the maps are. Now, there are some small maps that are going to play well simply because they are small, like, let's say, a Nuketown, for instance. Like, we're going to see Nuketown eventually in Black Ops 6. I don't believe it is actually coming for launch. I believe it's something that will probably come in Season 1. But we will see a version of Nuketown, which is also a small map. However, it has a little bit of a different side of small compared to Shipment and a Rust, etc., where the spawns are a little bit more predictable. There's a bit more of a flow to the game. There's a bit more space, how would I put it? There's a bit more space on the map to actually be able to do stuff and be a little bit different. But I don't think this is the route that we should be going down. I think we're going to miss out on some creative maps now. I think we're going to see some of the worst maps in the series. We're just going to see maps that are just reskins, really, of a Shipment, of a Rust, you name it. Just because, how much can you actually do with a small map? What can you actually do when it comes to making a small map? How different can a small map be? MW3 is quite a good showcase. It's like they've done quite a few different small maps. We've seen many versions of small maps put into the game. But how much different can a small map be made? How much variety can actually be made to a small map in Call of Duty? So I think it's an interesting topic to talk about. You guys let me know your comments down below. What do you think about small maps in Call of Duty? Do you think they're ruining Call of Duty? I personally think having small maps is going to ruin Call of Duty and kind of take away from that multiplayer experience. But I also see why people play them, because of leveling up, XP, you get into action constantly. You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe notifications on. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.